Now, President and founder of the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rondell Fields, is in the spotlight this morning to discuss a new website. Mr. Fields, good morning. How are you?
Morning. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here after so long, man.
I know we were joking offset that it's the first time we're actually meeting in person because we've done so many interviews virtually, so finally have you in studio.
Thanks for having me.
So before we get into the website, just remind us of who the Fathers Association of TNT is.
I mean, the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, you know, we were formerly branded the Single Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, has been here. We have been the stalwarts of fatherhood for the last 10 years, the last decade. We've always promoted good fatherhood, a good perception or concept of fatherhood. I mean, when we started this, the whole perception of fatherhood was deadbeat father. I grew up hearing deadbeat father more than I heard good father. And that's something that we wanted to rebrand because we were the boys that didn't have our fathers around, and we were the boys that became men that wanted to be better fathers. So it's time to change our branding, and I think we were successful at doing that over the last decade.
Nice. And so with all the work that you've been doing, now you're stepping into the online world and you're launching a website. Right,
correct. I mean, part of launching the website has to do a lot with my personal experience. When I started or founded Single Fathers Association, then, I mean, there was nowhere within our Caribbean or region with information pertaining to the courts, information pertaining to fatherhood, information pertaining to custody, access, these things that parents are affected by. And I think that was a big problem. I actually had to reach out to an association called Lone Fathers Association, headed by a man called Barry Williams in Australia. And he was the one that kind of guided me as into how to set up an association, how to make certain moves, how to lobby and these kind of things. And I think now, because we've done so much advocacy over the last decade and we have so much data that we've researched, we also have issue papers, we have Joint Select Committee hearings, we have Joint Select Committee reports, we have a lot of stuff out there. It was only sensible to amalgamate it and put it in one place so that people have that resource center or that resource hub to go to. Because it's difficult to get Rondell Fields all the time. It's difficult to get an outreach officer all the time because there's a few of us. That survive that kind of daily stress of 10 and 15 people calling you for assistance a day. So if you could get to go to that website, you get to see a video, you get to see a issue paper, you get to do these things. I mean, you're going to get a lot of information there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering as well, so we have this place where all the information is. It's not obviously not going to remove Rondell Fields from his work with the association. I mean, how are you still going to be involved, although there's this separate resource available?
I mean, we're still going to be advocating. There's still a lot of things to change. There's still a lot of things to look at there. I mean, we set up a meeting with the AG. We had to put it off for a couple of weeks because he was a little constrained in the last 2 weeks. But so we have a lot of advocacy still. We still have pressing issues where we didn't make marks on, like parental abduction and these kind of things that are taking place, parental alienation, some of the things that we still seem to not care about too much in Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll still be on the advocacy front. We're not going to stop that at all. But when it comes to the resource, when it comes to information, when it comes to data, particularly for undergraduates who always have a lot of thesis, they call us a lot, UTT, UWE, USC. Is going to be a good research hub there. So they're going to be able to go, as I said, we have our issue paper. That was something we did in collaboration with the Emancipation Support Committee and the European Union, where we researched the cohort, and there's a lot of statistics and data inside of there that even these undergraduates will be able to go onto the website and access their video tutorials. We have a video tutorial page as well, where they not only undergraduates, but that's one information. They're going to have a lot of the consultations that we had featured there, like Fatherhood in Society, Issues and Solutions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to see videos on a lot of the morning shows that we did, a lot of the topics that we raised, a lot of the consultations, as I said before, that we've had. So if you truly want information, you'd make the time. Some of the podcasts that we held, we had a podcast for over a year with Mended Studios. You're going to see those videos there. We talk about access, we talk about custody, we talk about child maintenance, we talk about these pressing issues that come up all the time, these questions that we have to tell 10 different people on the same day. If you go there, you're going to get all the information. And be appreciative of that because, I mean, in my day, there was no information because no one lobbied a cause like this at that point in time.
What is the website address and is it live already?
It'll be live on Saturday morning, purposely, because many people may not know, but Saturday is International Men's Day. We purposely held it back for that. The website is www.tfatt.org. That's actually my son and my dad there.
Wow.
tfatt.org. .com, www.tfatt.com.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
and so you're saying that you can go to this site to get all the information that you need, but is this part of a bigger launch event for International Men's Day? Like, what is the association doing in addition to launching the website?
Right. So we've been invited to a number of events on International Men's Day. That's why sometimes we don't plan an International Men's Day event anymore. Normally we would have a consultation where we'd have invited a number of stakeholders. But we are heaviest in demand on that day. And I'm hoping it's not because there are very few male activists around, but we have events that are going to be hosted. We're going to be at YMCA. They're having a panel discussion pertaining to the relation between men and women on Saturday. I'll be featured there as well. I'll be a part of that panel. And they're going to have a walk in Tobago. So from straight after that, we fly to Tobago to be a part of that walk this Sunday morning as well. A men's march on Sunday morning. So, I mean, those are the other two events that we're going to participate in. The event that we're going to be hosting, particularly this year, I'm sure we'll be back here again as our Christmas I Love My Community event. So a lot of our resources and time is heavily vested in that as well. Also on the website, we also have a volunteer tab. So I know a number of people reach out to us to be a part of these events, to contribute in some way. So if you want to contribute to I Love My Community or any other event we have, there's also the volunteer tab on the website. You'll be able to go there, sign up as a volunteer, and be a part of the event as well.
One of the interesting things you mentioned is that you said that you were hoping that the organization wasn't in high demand, particularly on Men's Day, because you have so few activists, men who are advocating on behalf of men. Do you believe that there are very few within our population?
There are. I mean, I know in comparison to women, even if women weren't doing it, there are still very few people who advocate for these things. There are many people who I'm sure in this room may not have known that Saturday is International Men's Day, men included as well. And I think that's bad. I think I've been coming here every year on multiple stations and saying the same thing, and we're not really seeing that change. And I encourage men to care about yourself too. We can't just tell the women, make the men feel good on International Men's Day if you yourself don't care about the day itself, whether it fall or don't fall. So it is, a rough spot. It is a tough place,
but
particularly.
What more can be done, Rondell?
You see, there needs to be a culture shift in society. You need to show men generally that they would care about them. Most things you hear about men in society is negative, It's bad. So, you hear, we start talking about men when it's things to change, but never when it's just about empowerment, when it's just about appreciation, when it's just about appreciating their contribution, their value, their presence, their existence. There's not things you really hear again. And I think that's something that needs to change. And once that changes, the culture will change. And a man will feel more valuable, where he himself will be able to receive. Men have a big, big challenge with allowing themselves to receive anything, whether it be help, whether it be love, whether it be a number of things. And that's because we've grown so accustomed to being battered about, whether it's battered on media, whether it's battered in a social media space, whether it's battered in your house, whether it's battered as wherever. Emotionally, we've been battered about the place. And men themselves have now seemed to think that nobody cares about us. And that's the reality of it.
Yeah, because I know that in the media as well, you would see the stories of the men battering the women. So, there is another side of it as well.
Well, of course. And that's it. I say when you speak about that side, people always think you're trying to be harsh or you're trying to be mean or you're not caring about the side that you're trying to highlight as being battered. But we're not saying that. We're saying about care about everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about caring about one person. Men are people too. Women are people too. So why we don't care about everybody? Why, when we start caring, we must care about one side. And if we care about the other side, it means we do it with race too. Care about one race. And if you care about the other race, it means you don't like that race. Sometimes we let diversity divide us. And unless we have that intelligence to be able to balance both, enjoy diversity without allowing it to divide us, it causes a lot of problems. We see it in gender, we see it in race, we see it in socioeconomic standing.
Now, going back to the website, you mentioned a ton of features, the podcast, the videos. You also mentioned that there's a volunteer tab as well. Is there a resource for men to go to if they want social services? So, for example, and of course, mental health services. Right. There are some men who are struggling in society. Will the website also provide information in terms you need to speak to someone or anything like that?
Right. So definitely we're going to have that on our information page as well. We also have a SFAT news page as well. I will be updating like articles and so forth, but we're going to have that SFAT contact information, not only for us, but just some of the places I spoke about, Children Authority, Child Protection Unit, Family Court, all these numbers that are put there as well. And I mean, we'll try our best. Sometimes you just want to give somebody a number, and when they call, they're not getting them. So we encourage people to go on that same page that I'm mentioning, or we're going to have live podcasts, because that's going to be our new approach on outreach.
Right.
Because it's been hard for the last 10 years. I know I don't come to Mama Guy anybody. It's been hard for the last 10 years for 3 or 4 men to be able to navigate the stresses of a nation of men. It's been very difficult. And we're not going to lie to say it's been easy. It's been stressful on the guys, and I'm seeing the guys around me who are competent to do it crumbling. And that is one of the reasons why I said, hey, we have to have this website, and we're not going to alter that. Instead of that call whole day, you're going to meet us every other bi-weekly on a Thursday evening at 7 to 9.
Right.
We're going to be on the live podcast page. It's on the website as well. You'll see the live page. You could go there and you're going to be able to interact with us. It's going to have a information form. So if you have a request or you have an issue from before the podcast viewing, you put it there.
Right.
So that we will get it there. And by the time we come onto the podcast, we'll address a number of issues there. That way we are able to help more than one man, opposed to just a single phone call and helping you alone.
Yeah.
Be able to help people who have similar issues. And that's it. Sometimes 10 people call you the same thing.
Of course, I know that it's online, but of course there are some men who may not have the access to the internet. So in that case, they can still call.
Correct.
So we're not removing the calls, but we're just saying for those to make it easier, you have this resource available where you can go and get everything, yes?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Good.
But we are encouraging you to primarily utilize that form. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has data. We can't even make that excuse again.
Well,
you understand?
but okay, I see a point.
Yeah. So it's about really carrying people from dependency
Yes.
to independence.
All right, and we're going to pause right there when Rhonda, let me thank you so much for coming in. Finally meeting you in person, so thank you so much for coming and sharing
to meet you as well.
the website, and of course all the best to you on Men's Day and even beyond that as well.
Thank you for having me.
And that was Mr. Rondell Fields, the founder of the Single Fathers, well, no longer Single Fathers, the Fathers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, just sharing a new website that's launching on Saturday. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.
Cover me, shower me. Said I